inspired to push through. Because there's a spark in you. Breakthrough or bust. Hello, how are you? Welcome either for the very first time or welcome back to Breakthrough or Bust. I am Kalua and I'm so happy to be here with you. Let's get to it. It has been, let's just start with it and let's just be real. It's been a shit show, okay, these last few weeks. And just to recap, if you've been following, you've heard me talk about the fact that this whole past year has really been pushing us, into a transformation, into growth. Okay. Last fall, we began with an eclipse season, which really started to push us into this energy of reflection and awareness and accountability much sooner than we normally would have. Like usually that comes around in the winter season, in that season of water and reflection. And so we started in the fall and then we moved into winter, which is that. And then in the spring, we had another eclipse season that really was, holding our feet to the fire with our growth. And then summer came. Summer being the season of fire, action, okay, taking action. And from the very beginning of the summer, the message was coming out that this was the season that we would be owning our power, okay? Not stepping into, we're already there, but owning it, realizing it, unconditionally accepting who we are in this world. And unfortunately, the way that went down was a challenge, okay? And my goodness. So we went into about first six, then 7 out of 8 planets in retrograde. And then we had this blue supermoon that like completely amplified it and just. And so if things in your life felt insane and just intense and just like I think of the cat claws in the ceiling kind of thing, there was a reason. And it's okay, you were not alone. We really came to the climax of that a couple weeks ago at that full moon, that blue supermoon that we had right at the end of August. And one of the things that I found really interesting in my own life was right after that, I like ended up doing this massive clean out of my home, right? Like a deep clean and clearing things out and reorganizing the space and just expansion, right? And of course, that's coming out of the full moon. So that's when it's waning and we're releasing, right? So I just feel like I started to do that within my own physical environment, releasing what was maybe feeling congested, cleaning things, clearing things out, of course, do the little sage around the house, sage or rosemary. So things started to open up again. They started to maybe feel a little better. And I'm hoping that's where you are right now. We are now settling in. We're settling in to our power. And so, remember that everything is a journey. Okay. So, you don't go from A to Z, okay? We take these little steps. So if you don't see it, maybe it's time for some reflection and looking at where is a place in your life right now that you're suddenly feeling a little more comfortable in your own skin, right? Some part of your life you've settled into and you're owning it. And that might have been what this whole thing was about. Okay? So if you don't see it, let's do a reflection. Take a look at it. And I actually have the new moon check-in reading coming up tomorrow. So if you would like to join me for that full reading to get some clarity, please let me know. But yeah, that's part of what we do. We look at the different areas of our lives and check in and see what's showing up. Okay. And as we go into it, what I like to do with you is one of the things I always do is sort of this overall guidance and theme as we go into the different moons. So we've got our September new moon. It's actually official Thursday. We're going to do it tomorrow in the shadow. And what I like to do is an overall theme. Okay, before I even do the actual reading, I like to pull what I consider sort of that overall theme of our reading, like what's the energy, what's going on here. And I tend to do a card, but with us being so close to the equinox next week, if you can believe it. Next week is the autumnal equinox or fall equinox, and the energy is going to shift from fire to earth. So what I did, I felt inspired to draw from both of those energies. So fire is our dragon, and then I have my Gaia Earth energy that I've pulled from. And what's really interesting is that these together, so I have balance from the dragons, and I have sacred journey, transformation happening, life cycles, right? Happening with the earth energy. And what these are telling me together is that things are shifting, they're changing, they're transforming right now for all of us. However you are experiencing that. And that part of the balance is knowing that knowing the only constant is change, and embracing that transformation, and just sort of allowing the balance to be fluid at this point in time, right? As we are transforming even further, even deeper into this newer version of ourselves, right? Because that's what's happening right now. You are becoming another version of you, an upgrade. Okay. So, I'm trying to think of how to say this, a little tough love here. You have a choice. You can barrel through and just whatever, same old situation, same old thing, continue business as usual and just ignore it all, right? And maybe you're not going to have that upgrade this time around because you've chosen not to. Or you can let go. Trust and roll with it, okay? A lot harder. I get it. Trust me, I get it. A lot harder. That has been my massive learning part, this shit show of the last couple of weeks that we've had. That has been a big part of it for me, is that trusting and letting go and seeing where it takes me. Because remember, when you're trying to completely control it, right? We guide, like we're not just handing over the reins to our life, right? We still want that guidance, like to guide our own lives, right? But we don't want to one of the things somebody used to say, that white knuckle grip of the steering wheel, and we're only going to go this way. No, release the fingers and let it sort of roll, right? And that's what we want to do here, is allow that flow to happen in our lives. And that's where that balance comes in, that grounding with the fire. Okay. So we're going to start to embrace and welcome both energies together for this time. We're in the shadow of that fall equinox, so that earth energy is already starting to come in to ground us, and we will still have that fire energy for a little while as we move into the equinox, right? It doesn't just turn off, right? We're going to have those two energies blending together. And this is where we can allow that fire, that taking action part of us to go, but then also that grounding and trusting and allowing things to work out the way that they're intended, the way that is for your highest good, the way that you probably couldn't even possibly imagine, because you're not even thinking big enough yet. And I believe that is part of this transformation that we're all experiencing, is that expansion, right? So in our owning of our power, we're probably owning our value that much more, right? And so there's this expansion in our beliefs of what is truly possible for ourselves, that maybe back in the day you were like, oh my God, I could never, that would never happen for me. Or, yes, it can. Yes, it can. It is here for you. Trust it, believe it, and it's there, right? Yes, there's a little bit of a lag between your inner work and your outer reality, but just stick with it and it is there. So that's the message I wanted to come and deliver to you today. I feel, well, first of all, I just want to say I feel lighter. And I feel so hopeful and excited to bring this message because, as I mentioned, it was a little intense a couple weeks ago, was it not? I don't know. If it wasn't for you, I bow to you. You are amazing, wonderful. But yeah, if it was, it's okay. It's okay. And remember, part of being in alignment, part of being aware and doing this work is not about making life completely easy all the time. Sometimes there are those tough lessons, but they're there for a reason. They're gifts from the universe, right? They're there to get you to the next level. And without it, you would never get there. Think about all of the best accomplishments always come from effort and from, some sort of great, lesson. Or, I'm just thinking of the greatest view comes from the hardest climb. It's like this picture I have of my family, all of us at the top of the mountain where we could see everywhere. But it was a good climb. And, that is, there's a book called The Art of Conflict. And it talks about, we avoid conflict, but conflict is actually one of the greatest gifts we're given. Not conflict in, oh, we have to put up our dukes and fight and guards up, right? But to be able to have an opposing view and wait a second, and well, let me feel that out. And well, here's how I feel, and to speak my truth and not get steamrolled. And, so there's so many different amazing personal growth lessons that come with these challenges. And I think as you get further and further into the growth journey, after a while, you start to appreciate them as they show up. And it's like, okay, I see what's going on here. Let's do this. Right? So, wherever you are with all of this, I see you. I love you. I believe in you. Keep pushing through because there's a spark in you. Till next time. Bye, love.